There we go. Hello everybody, how you doing? Welcome to Bitcoin occasionally daily. Occasionally 9 a.m. Occasionally, sometime here and there. We do Bitcoin daily because we gotta know what's happening in Bitcoin, altcoins and everything else. Mic is on, so everything's working, is fine. We got a chart on the screen. How's everybody doing in the chat? Good morning, Dr. Carla, how you doing? Van Team, what's up, man? Now 2:25 a.m. in Las Vegas, 73F. I don't know what 73F, man. We don't do this, weird stuff. Hi, Sasha. Hi, Sanat. How you doing, man? So, as you see in the title, another dump preparing. Is it probable? Triple bottom and then moon towards the upside. So, when you're talking about moon, by the way, guys, very, very soon, we're gonna have a moon. We just had a, dump moon over here that pulled us down, and right now we're consolidating over here. But very, very soon we're gonna get one of these, full moons again, right back up there again. Maybe. So we're gonna talk a little bit about that. We're gonna talk a little bit about what's been happening up here, in this move towards upside. This looks like a rising wedge to me towards upside. I'm thinking, this can again do this move, triple bottom towards downside before we move towards upside. Right now, Bitcoin dominance is actually down 0.23%. So it's still going down a little bit. Ethereum Bitcoin is up a little bit, on the daily time frame over here. You can see up here, just consolidating, but Bitcoin dominance is a little bit down. Over here, it's been going down for a long time. Unfortunately, Bitcoin dominance still haven't broken down to the very important level, but there is that. Ethereum is up 2%. Bitcoin is up, 1.57%. So, it's a good day. Altcoins are up. They're not actually up that much. I mean, everything is up just, a couple of points here and there. Pepe is up actually 7%. VIF actually did pump. If you go to the daily time frame up here, this was like 20% pump, if I'm not mistaken, up here 43% pump. So this thing is volatile, as you know what. We are still looking, majorly towards upside on everything very, very soon, because Bitcoin dominance needs to break down eventually and altcoin season needs to come. That did not happen just yet. So, all is good and then in the world of, bull market. So there is that. Hope everyone is doing well. So let's actually start looking at what's actually happening on chart. We're gonna start with this chart over here. We're gonna go to the 4-hourly time frame. What you're gonna see here, we got a couple of lines up here. Most important up here that on the daily time frame over here. Let me remove this up here. This was actually this number up here, 65,618. This is actually 3-day resistance level up here that I was actually hoping that this candle previous week, because right now we have a weekly close. What you're gonna see over here is that weekly close did not manage to break, create bullish engulfing candle. It did not manage to get back above the support level. It did not manage to get back above the moving averages. It closed below everything, and right now we're just pumping into that resistance level over here at the top. Now we are breaking with this candle up here, but this is 3-day candle, and it's still 1 day and 15 hours left until this actually closed. Unfortunately, we failed to close that. So this, this 65,618 level did not get broken. So I was watching that level. On the daily time frame, we did manage to do nice things up here, moving towards upside, but this major level up here again at 64.5 right now on the daily time frame is still not yet broken. There are definitely a couple of levels over here that's been broken on the way towards upside, but these levels over here have not yet been broken again. And after these levels, we get a little bit higher levels up here at the top, but we are not quite there yet. So everything, I mean, it is nice pump towards upside, and Milano has a very, very nice channel up here that goes something like this over here. So we are just bouncing from this these bottoms towards upside up here right now. I'm a little bit unsure whether we are actually breaking the resistance level or not. Let me do that over here. Let me just clean up everything and clean up the moving averages over here for a second, and then go to the weekly time frame, because on the weekly time frame we got this very, very nice channel up here, as you can see up here. So we are hitting that resistance level up here at the top as well. So nothing is actually broken towards upside. Nothing's actually broken towards upside. We still got a little bit more room left to go until we break certain resistance level where we become majorly bullish. But right now I'm thinking there might be a chance that we might have another move towards downside. Now before we actually go to and talk about that, let me just go to the 4-hour time frame. There has been interesting development up here on the chart. If you remember, last time we had Bitcoin live stream, we talked about these 4-hourly candles over here. 4-hourly candles over here, and Milana said this is gonna go towards downside up here because this is over here. Doji is hitting resistance level, and I didn't see actually this pump towards downside over here. I had said that this needs to pump towards upside. It tried to pump towards upside, but it continued doing this extortion pattern towards upside. But give or take around here, somewhere around here, I said this needs to dump, because the problem over here that was actually happening over here is when stuff looks that, you know, it needs to pump, but it does not pump. That's often a very, very bad sign, right? So you will do something over here, you start going towards upside, you know, you will start breaking a resistance level, but you are not pumping. That means something is wrong, and oftentimes the price pulls back. So I was expecting pullback, that pullback happened, and right now we continue towards upside. I can also show you, for example, on Ape. If you go to Ape chart over here, you'll see that on the weekly time frame, actually, this is also kind of the case. It's not the case with the lines, but it's the case with the moving averages. So if you look at the moving averages up here, you'll see that Ape at one point came above the moving averages over here, and once you actually do this, you consolidate over here and continue pumping. Unfortunately, this did not pump. It was just kind of hugging the moving averages towards downside and then broke towards downside. I did not think this is gonna go all the way down back to the $1 and start pulling back, but you know, this is always a bad sign. Once you actually break certain level of resistance, you know, and you're expecting to pump, but you don't pump, oftentimes that's a very, very bad sign, and you go back towards downside. And that's actually what happened on Bitcoin. So if you go back to Bitcoin over here for a second over here on the 4-hourly time frame, that's actually what happened, because we had this here, you know, very nice bullish momentum towards upside, and I was expecting move towards upside up here, you know, and continuation towards upside. That did not happen. We had a pullback, and pullback already played out. Now, that said, this you know, this is done, but I thought that was very interesting and educational, so you know, there is that. Right now we are actually coming back above these levels of resistance up here. Unfortunately, we are not quite done. Now, the dump that I'm talking about in the thumbnail, what you're gonna see here on the chart on the 4-hourly time frame, we had actually tripled bottom down here. If you remember this move towards downside, this is the big move that happened when everything dropped down for 2 days straight, 20%. So there was 2 days, 20% move down. Bitcoin did a, you know, 5-6% move towards downside over here. It was a little bit more than, you know, this was 8% move, and this move over here was maybe 10%, 11% move towards downside. But you know, altcoins did dump like 20-30% towards downside each of these days. And what we did over here is create first bottom up here, then we went a little bit up, created this second bottom over here, then we went up and created a spring towards upside, bullish engulfing spring. Right now we just you know, zigzagging up here towards upside. But I think there is a very good chance for that this move over here right now can do another move towards downside. So if you look a little bit on the bigger time frames over here, beside this this spring that already happened, maybe, just maybe, we are gonna get another one of these, you know, big fast move downs before we actually go towards the upside. That might very be likely. I mean, the support is still sitting around 60k up here. Where's the 60k? That's 60k, just a little below 60k. The support is still sitting there, but could we do this, you know, triple bottom down here where it goes towards downside again and then again towards upside? That's very probable. There is line over here that we've been looking for a very long time. It goes something like this over here, give or take. And you can see up here, I mean, we did, you know, double bottom already up here, and right now we're pulling back. But I do believe that, you know, there is a good chance for us again to go again towards downside, because the theory over here is that it's gonna zigzag over here, something like this inside the box over here, on something like this inside the box, before it actually gets towards upside, breaks the resistance level and goes towards upside. Now, this box can actually play for a little bit longer time up here, but you know how these boxes are gonna play out, kind of depends. Maybe it doesn't pull back all the way down to the bottom, maybe it pulls back a little bit, maybe it does, you know, some kind of rising channel up here towards upside before it actually breaks towards upside. But right now we are still very much bullish, because we did not break the support level down here at 58k levels. If you remember previous talk, we talked about that, you know, the area between 58k and 53k, this area down here, that's the liquidity area. So if you go down over here towards downside, if we go inside the liquidity area, I think that's actually going to just explode us towards upside. But you know, this move towards downside because of this this triple bottom up here might actually be the case right now. And if you look at a little bit small time frames up here, just this last part up here, it does look like some kind of rising wedge that is being formed over here on the chart. Something like this over here, give or take, and these rising wedges often tend to break towards downside. Now, we are not, you know, stupidly bullish just yet, so if this for whatever reason should break towards upside up here, something like this, we're gonna become stupidly bullish on the dollar, and this is definitely gonna go continue towards upside, because these rising wedges tend to break towards downside as a default and oftentimes pull back. They pull back a little bit up here. There are a couple of, interesting levels where how much they can actually pull back over here towards downside, but wherever they actually pull back, regardless of whether they pull back, that should be, very, very bullish signals towards upside. We also got a moon coming up. Somebody said full moon tomorrow, goat. Said full moon tomorrow, so there is that. So I might actually do that. But this rising wedge oftentimes does indeed, in fact, break towards downside. We are not just quite, 100% stupidly bullish just yet. But in the case of this rising wedge that breaks towards the upside, this should be extremely, extremely bullish. On the other hand, it is more likely right now that it's going to break towards downside, pull back, and then we do this, spring again towards the upside. That's why I'm saying there is very, very good chance that we got some kind of triple bottom up here before we actually go towards the upside. So everything is working actually very, very nice when it comes to Bitcoin. It does look nice. It is holding very nice, these levels over here, and it's right now just, as people, some might say that this is, a bull flag or whatever, and then, we got a, another move towards the upside. And if you look at this as a bull flag, the targets are pretty much given on the chart. So let's say this is a bull flag over here, then the targets should be up from the bottom towards the top up here somewhere, right? All the way up here to 95k levels over here towards upside, if this is a bull flag. It kind of depends whether it's a bull flag or not, but let's say it's a bull flag. It's around 95, between 90 95, give or take. I'm saying everything above 80 85, it is some kind of target for us that we are looking at. So if you look at the chart over here, let's just zoom in a little bit up here, you'll see this stop line over here at the top. 95 is all the way up there, but I would say as soon as we start hitting this 80k levels up here towards the resistance level, we are getting into some kind of madness kind of move. So it can overextend up here towards 95 or something like that, but it is already very, very juicy move if it starts going towards the upside. Now we've been consolidating for how many weeks right now? 1 2 3 4 5 6 weeks. 6 weeks, so 2 more weeks, and that's like 2 months of consolidation. 95 my topping target. That's good, man. Bear flag on ape. I don't know if it's a bear flag. Good morning, and Anna Marie, how you doing? Near is really bullish, maybe. So this actually looks okay so far. I mean, the price is actually holding very, very nicely. Unfortunately, we're hitting the midline over here at the top. There is a rising wedge up here right now being created on the chart, just like we saw. Let's just go a little bit back over here. There is a rising, there is a rising wedge up here being created on the chart. So will we have a pullback before the bigger move towards the upside? That's the big question right now. I think a lot of people are saying this rising wedge that is being created right over here, and I'm definitely thinking that this might actually pull back. Now the pullback is not the pullback before the dump, it's pullback before actually the move towards the upside, the way we see it so far, because not everything is just done yet. When it comes to Bitcoin dominance, even though Bitcoin dominance is right now consolidating, pulling a little bit down towards the upside, this has been bleeding towards the downside over here for a while right now. It is going some kind of channel over here towards the downside, so it hasn't still broken towards the downside just yet, but it does look weak though. It does look weak, and this move towards the upside towards 57k, towards 57%. I do know that Benjamin Cohen thinks we're gonna go to 60% dominance. I think 57 to 58 is major levels of resistance when it comes to the dominance. But give or take, the way I see the charts, we are already hitting the resistance level up here at the top. The only thing I'm looking at right now where we gonna when we are gonna break this towards the downside. Last time we said that the altcoin season doesn't stop at on the breakout. It starts at the top, and we already seen right now altcoins did 2 days of 20% dumps, 20-30% dumps. So if altcoins are gonna get wrecked and we're gonna get some kind of spring before the big move towards the upside, they already did, guys. They already did. You can see up here the big moves up here already happened. This 50% dump on Cardano. Algo had the 55%. Atom had I don't know how much. This was the 27% right now, 50%. So everything is down like 50%, give or take. Inchcoin up here, how much is this down towards downside up here? Dumped 64%. So everything dumped big time. And I think oftentimes before these very, very big moves, it is very important to have these major dumps, major pullbacks. These springs on a bigger time frames. These springs on a bigger time time frames where we go down big time and then, you know, explode again towards upside over here, right? Have a big move towards upside. So oftentimes just before the big move, that's why we like springs, right? Springs are very, very technically bullish, and once you actually have a spring, you get into some kind of liquidity zone. You know, these springs actually play out very, very nicely. So this just might be a big, you know, big spring being happening up here on the bigger time frames, 2 weekly time frames, stuff like that. You go down and then you come towards upside. Now on the small time frames, it might seem that it takes time, but the big time frames like right back down and right back up again, right? So it does look nice, but unfortunately right now, again, still looking for this move towards downside outside this rising wedge. Not all the way towards downside. I'm just looking for a pullback down because, you know, this triple bottom down here might actually be the case before we actually break the resistance level up here and continue towards upside. So like we just said, dominance actually looks okay. Okay, still haven't broken towards downside, but this week towards upside is getting me really, really excited and really, really bullish. Mladen is in chat. How you doing, man? XRP legend. What is happening? Not getting my notifications anymore from YouTube. Only 8 likes, guys. 9 likes right now. That's very, very good. Ethereum versus Bitcoin is also gonna go towards upside eventually up here. It does look like it's slowly curving up here towards downside. We're gonna check that out. This should be some kind of bullish signal on Ethereum Bitcoin chart over here. And it is kind of, the way I see it, it is kind of already, you know, swinging a little bit sideways up here. Now, you know, I'm not gonna make predictions when it is gonna break towards up, so I'm just gonna say that right now, the way I see it, I don't think it's gonna break down. Okay, I don't think it's gonna break down. That means that, you know, we don't have that much room left to go more towards downside, and we are already breaking these, you know, capitulation moves towards downside. We are already at the bottom as much as we can, so the only way I can see this right now is going towards upside. So my theory right now is that, you know, we are getting very, very close to the altcoin season, because you know, bull market ending. Now, depending on how much the next move for Bitcoin goes towards upside and stuff like that, you know, how long that takes, that kind of a little bit depends. But, you know, eventually the dominance will break towards downside. A Bitcoin will go towards upside up here. Bitcoin will go a little bit towards upside over here, towards upside, and you know, it will do some kind of consolidation part, right? And Ethereum versus Bitcoin chart will also explode towards upside. The important thing to know is that once this actually starts, this next move, when it starts going towards upside, I think altcoins are going to start exploding. I think also that there will be some kind of distribution phase at the top. This distribution phase is not going to last for that long time, and as soon as actually Bitcoin starts dropping towards downside, I don't know if you remember, but give or take a couple of months, that's the most you have for your altcoins to pump. Remember that. Diamond balls, I'm going to hodl the Bitcoin collapse, then I will be poor and will be ready to sell them or day trade. Wizard sell, how you doing, man? So everything looks nice. Unfortunately, triple bottom might be the case. I would be, like we said, I'm gonna be extremely bullish when it comes to Bitcoin if Bitcoin actually manages to break this rising wedge towards the upside. So over here is rising wedge. I am looking at this rising wedge like a hawk right now, and if this rising wedge, for whatever reason, breaks towards the upside up here, it should continue pumping over here, unless it does, you know, unless it does the thing that we just talked about over here, starts doing this without any pumping, then, you know, we might actually pull back, because this might be capitulation up here and a pullback towards downside. But if it breaks towards upside up here, there's a very, very good chance that it just continues towards upside, because these rising wedges are bearish by nature and they tend to pull back. But if the pullback happens, we expect this move towards upside. So, you know, we are definitely watching how this is gonna play out. Right now, the probability is a little bit towards downside, but if it does break towards upside, guys, extremely bullish, extremely bullish. There is that, guys. I don't know what more to talk about DXY and stuff like that. Haven't been watching DXY for a long time. It does look, unfortunately, very, very bullish. London probably got some kind of nice lines on DXY. I don't. I got this, you know, monthly, or what's that? This is like, you know, 6 months chart or something like that over here, or something like that. It has definitely more room left to go, and this midline over here has been holding up very, very nicely right now. Pull back on the midline right now, it's going up here again. So I am, you know, for the next 6 months again, I'm bullish on well, this candle up here is next 2 months, so at least for the next 2 months I'm still, you know, bullish on DXY. So there is that. Anything else happening? There is one thing that I want to talk about. Ordi. Let's check out Ordi. If you look at Ordi over here, and let's go to the daily time frame up here, you'll see that Ordi actually pumped. You don't see this first part down here, but this first part, you know, from the bottom towards the top, this pumped actually 30x over here. So it was actually lower than that, 30x. Right. How can this only be 10x? What am I doing wrong? From $1, or it's not 10x, it's 90x. But it's not 90x, it's 30x. So over here, there we go, 30x. So it pumped 30x. So the chart went something like this over here, went something like this, and then started going towards the upside over here. There was a little bit pump up here, something like this, and it went up 30x towards upside. And this over here looks like, you know, distribution phase, but you can see right now that Ordi already did the move towards downside over here. So this down here is some kind of liquidity area. It went into that liquidity area below these, you know, important levels. Right now it's right now pulling back. Now the reason I'm talking about Ordi, because I've seen a lot of talk, not a lot, but you know, I've seen some talk about Ordi and Ordinals on X, and it's not a lot of people are actually talking about this, but it did pull back a whole bunch towards downside. So the last move up here is 60% towards downside. Can Ordi have another move towards the upside? You know, that kind of depends a little bit, but if you gotta understand that Ordi for BRC20 coins, for Ordinals, Ordi is like Bitcoin, right? And that means that if you look at the coin cap and go to the coin cap and look at Ordinals, can we see Ordinals categories? No, wait, how can we do LF or the BRC20? There you go, BRC20 coins. If you look at BRC20 coin, Ordinal, you know, it's only market cap is 1 billion right now, but Ordinal is like on BRC20 coins is like Bitcoin, right? So there could be a very good chance that some this is orange. Is this why you bought orange? It could be the case that some of these, you know, BRC20 coins are gonna perform very well. If it does another move towards upside. Yes, it did 30x on the first move. It might be do another 10x Ordi as well. So I'm a little bit unsure how much upside Ordi has. But if the Ordinals goes up, I think, you know, the entire sector might actually go up very, very nicely. And right now, if you look at Ordinal chart up here, it is breaking towards downside. Up here, it's getting into this liquidity zone down here below these bottoms. Over here, you can see up here that we already entered the liquidity zone down here below the very bottoms. Can we go even lower towards that? I mean, if it want to pick up liquidity, it already start picking it up, because these big big moves towards upside actually broke down. Let me see this line up here. It actually broke down. It's already inside the liquidity zone down here at the bottom. This is the weekly time frame up here. So we are looking right now to create some kind of bottom over here, and then right back up there again and continue towards upside. Once that actually start happening, I think Ordinals might actually perform very nicely. TLI, you should incorporate some tarot cards on the show. Yeah, that was the plan a long time ago, but you know, we didn't do that. Boring Bitcoin, all's dead. I find it interesting how bomb flies when Bitcoin pumps more than any other crypto altcoin. It's meme coin, low cap. Ordinals, BRC20 and runes will rule the market. By the way, what are runes? What are runes stuff? I don't get this rune stuff. What are runes? Is runes just BRC20 coin? What is runes? Because I also saw a lot of talk about runes, but I don't get what runes are. So there is that. Anyways, guys, it is a nice day, you know, so go out, enjoy the sunshine, and just watch this rising wedge, guys. Just watch this rising wedge until it plays out, and you know, I think there is more probability right now towards the downside, but if it does break towards the upside, we are very, very bullish. The falling wedge will break to the upside, 100%. It's not a falling wedge, it's a rising wedge. What about a coin flip? Now we got an 8 ball, you know. So where is the 8 ball? Do we have an 8 ball? We got an 8 ball, but we are not quite there just yet. Where are you from? Thoughts on Jasmine? I'm from Norway. Technically speaking. Thoughts on Jasmine? It's 2021 coin, pumped a lot, too many back holders, unfortunately. I don't know what this does, you know, how it's gonna play out, but you know, old coin, got a lot of people to back hold, so you know, I'm not really, you know, interested in Jasmine. There is that. Anyways, guys, I won't keep you up too long. It's been, you know, half an hour live stream, so there is that. I talked about everything that I really need to talk about. So, you know, there is that. At least now you know what's happening with Bitcoin, right? It's a good day, guys. Enjoy the day. Get some sunshine. Feel the grass on your feet or snow, wherever you are. I don't know. Or sand. And, you know, I'll see you around, guys. Bye-bye. Enjoy the outro.